motion is needed to approve the 3-year deficit reduction plan as presented.
So moved.
Mr. Bolton? Mrs. Holloway?
I'd like to start. This is indeed a sad day for Streator Elementary. We're stuck between a rock the size of Starbuck and a hard place the size of Gibraltar. Many situations have put us in the place we are today. Prorated and late payments from general state aid, funding formulas, deficit spending for 8 to 10 years, increased salaries, price increases for supplies and services, failed tax referendums, lower assessed valuations, just to name a few. If today we vote yes to this current plan, the kids lose, the teachers lose, the administration loses, and the community loses. However, the community still has local control of the school board despite the large amount of input the state gives us. If on the other hand we vote no to this plan, the state comes in and implements the plan anyway, which leaves the community out. The tears that I have shed these past several weeks, and you don't even know what I've shed at home, over our need for a deficit reduction plan are for our students, for our district, and for the future of Streator. I would like to thank everyone for their questions, their suggestions, input, newspaper articles, letters to the editor to help us with the plans for the future. Board members, administrators, union members, individual teachers and staff, and community members have shared ideas, and I am truly grateful. I know I asked Matt in March, when do we tell the state no? And I absolutely wanted to then. But I firmly believe that if we tell them no now, they will think that we are being defiant and will have no problems coming in to take over. Therefore, with much dismay, I want this horrible plan to which our students lose so much, I want it to pass. Any other comments?
I want to say something. Could have said during open session, but I wrote it down as well. I've only been on this board just over a year, and I've learned a great deal of board work and how different it is from being a classroom teacher and union leader. Decisions have to be made that affect people's lives, and it is gut-wrenching to make those decisions. I listen to teachers, community members, and parents talk about saving jobs and how it will affect them and their children and their students. I know firsthand as I have 2 sons in the school district. Even after all the reductions have been made, I am proud to tell others that my children attend the Streator schools, and the teachers that my sons have done an incredible job, and they love school. My youngest son just told me a few weeks ago never to put art and music in this plan, because there's one thing that he looks forward to each week, and it would make school a little bit more depressing for him and others. The students of this school district have suffered enough, and I truly do not want any more cuts to be made. It is very discouraging that we have to include art, music, and band, and many other things on this reduction plan on the advice of ISB. The reductions affect these students on an everyday basis and will for many years to come. These reductions affect the employees of the district. As a board member, I appreciate the emails, letters, and conversations from many staff and what they believe should be done. ISB has backed us into a corner. When I make my decisions tonight, is based on making sure that the taxpayers of Streator still have a voice now and for the future.
I didn't write anything down. Obviously, I expressed my opinion the last 2 weeks, so I won't beat a dead horse on that. I'm for the financial oversight panel coming in so that there's somebody sitting in this room looking me in the eye and hearing what I have to say rather than sending things back and forth, playing cat and mouse with the state. But on a separate note, I do really appreciate all the time and effort put forth by the board, the association, administration to come up with a plan B on the insurance part to save some of the things that I was most critical about being even discussed, let alone being actually put on paper. The other thing, I don't know if SBA asked for it, but I'm actually, for one, I'm very happy they have the things on the bottom about raises and benefit increases, because I think it answers a lot of the questions I get over and over again about, we cut 700,000, why didn't that affect, why didn't anything change? Well, you see in year one, there isn't a lot of change, even with all the cuts. We're not even trending in the right direction by very much, because we're still giving out raises and benefit increases. And it's just with insurance going the way it's going, it's going up 10% a year for everybody, not just, the association. Just anywhere you look, everybody's giving up on insurance because everything's kind of up in the air right now with insurance because of so many markets have been dropping out. The Affordable Care Act has been hit and miss on a lot of issues, so it's just kind of a hard time right now for anybody to balance a budget, with all the turmoil.
I have a question, ma'am. Say you're 17, 18. I know existing staff raises are people already under contract, but the benefit increase, why is that so much larger? I would have thought it was a percent of the staff raises.
Are you in 17, 18?
Or 18, 19, either one. They give us-
Insurance.
That's what I'm wondering, if that's an insurance increase on that, or,
On page 5, at the bottom.
Yeah, but it's still taking into account only the $100,000 reduction for the $200,000 reduction. So you see the increase for this year was in the neighborhood of, 421. So still with decreasing, you have to remember insurance rates are still going to be going up.
that's what I'm asking, is this benefit increase insurance, basically?
Correct. And then
Because any other
'cause-
benefits would
right,
be
those are flat,
percentage of-
except for the 6% people that are in the 6% retirement track
Well,
and
but
those
the
types of things.
benefits are still a percent of their salary.
Correct.
So there would be more, I understand that. I just didn't know why it was so much more.
Well,
But if it's
the
insurance, that's
market
kind
trend
of,
on insurance, like Michael said, 10% is trend, and then any
Yeah.
increases you have because of your claims.
I
goes
just
from there.
wanted to make sure insurance is what that was.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other comments?
I did want just clarification on that actually though. We're looking at saving 100,000, say January to June, and we're looking at an additional 200, not, if it was at 2.9, we're, 2.8, 2.6, not, well, I know it's going up, but
Right.
we're not
Well,
looking at,
Overall, 300 is what we have to
That's-
stay below to
that's-
keep that
I
plan B
just
from
wanted to
going
make
into effect.
sure,
That's ISB's expectation.
Right.
If we're going to put that in the plan, that you will save $300,000, you do that over the 2 years, we don't touch Plan B, it just stays out.
but I'm saying, that, so in year 3, we've gotta see 300,000 less than what they were projecting.
Correct.
Not 100 this year, 100 this year, that doesn't do us any good.
Right.
We need 300
Right,
total, that's why I
correct.
want a clarification.
Correct. And like I said, there is at the bottom there, the opportunities as we look forward to negotiations in the spring, that we can take that on additionally. Because we know that the average, compared to other districts providing insurance, we're about 1.2 million average higher than most in the area. So we need to bring those costs down. And that's the plan. First, that we do it through the bidding process and then through negotiations.
I don't even know if you can answer this, but there have been some other ideas about reductions in particular, rather than reducing an administrator, did you guys get some ideas on that? I'm not asking about that right now because I don't think we can do any of that anyway. But if we decided, the idea here is continuity within the district and that there could be some problems. If we decided to make changes like that, is that the kind of thing we'd have to petition but,
My understanding is that we can have conversations as needed with the state. Now, if we actually change the plan, they'll want the state board to approve that.
right, okay,
but they
but those
said-
sorts of things are
Absolutely, they
what
said,
we
that, you know,
could-
as these things evolve and change, I'll be in constant communication with the state board on this.
What's the timeline now? Like, how long would it take to say, you wanna make this change to the 3-year plan, ask the state board, what time of?
They told me it would be a 2-month process. Basically, one for them to consider, kind of like when you change a board policy,
Right.
they want to see a first reading of it and then a second reading to make a decision. So essentially a 2-month process. So it'll take some planning on our part, not only as a board and administration, but we'd have to plan in advance to make those changes as they happen. But they said typically about 2 months.
So would that include things like, if we decide to go back, say something was on the plan for 25,000 and we decide, well, we don't wanna do that thing for 25, but we have this other opportunity where we could reduce this thing for 25, can we swap them out? Would that be a change?
You know, anything I think that would change in the plan that would benefit us, I think they would take into
If we
consideration.
get a referendum for whatever.
Or if our, you know, our loss limitation grants or those types of things don't materialize next year, if they do materialize, we could change those types of things. So,
Funding change in
or,
Beverly.
funding formula change, you know, those types of things. They seem to be pretty open to conversations, to be able to allow us to do that.
Any other questions?
Mr. Holcomb?
No.
Mrs. Holloway?
Aye.
Mrs. Volkman? Mr. Beck?
Aye.
Mrs. Broadbeck?
Aye.
Mr. Connor?
Aye.
Ms. Ely?
No.
Motion passed.
I do wanna